All right, well, I'm not sure what's going on with our intro, but it's not starting. I'm trying, people. I'm so sorry.
Let's just skip it. That's okay.
We're going to skip the intro. It's the Tipsy Realtors.
The Tipsy Realtors Season 3. Robin.
Anna.
And Missy Victoria today.
But we are here as members of RE/MAX Realty Professionals and Robin Rose and Associates. So here we are, and we're going to actually unpack what happened at the Calgary Real Estate Forecast. So we've got a lot of graphs and stuff that we're going to show you. Obviously, if you have any questions whatsoever, because there's always a lot of questions about what's coming in the year ahead, post them underneath, and we'll answer them as we go along. And we are going to be watching the comments because what's going on in 2023 obviously is a huge conversation right now, because you have to know, is this a good time for you to invest in real estate or is it not? And what does that future look like for you on one of your largest investments?
Mm-hmm. But first, we're going to do a drink, because you have to have a drink when you talk about the future.
That's right.
Yes. And money.
It is called the Suitcase. Because we're unpacking it today.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Suitcase starts very simply with your beautiful Fifth and Vermouth.
Yes, a barware.
Yeah, and you take half a kiwi, put it in there, and this is where you get all your aggression that happened in 2022. Because you have to muddle a half kiwi, which is actually, once you get the first one down,
it smells really good.
It takes a lot of work. This is like my arm workout for the day. This and lifting the cocktail.
And the precision as well.
Right.
So we got like kiwi, and while she's modeling, we do have a rock glass with a big bowl inside. So it's already waiting.
Yes. So, you didn't put on... Yeah. Okay. Yes. So we put the recipe online, and here we are now. We've taken the top half of our drink, or of our shaker, and we put the ice in there because it was easier. So now we're throwing in this is the gin. So this gin, and she's going to show it to you here in a second. We're doing 1.5 ounces of gin.
Bottle.
The reason I picked this gin over the Tanqueray that was in my cabinet or the Confluence was because I wanted something that was super botanical, right? Because you want to kind of have that taste.
And Robin brought this from US, right?
No, actually, Crow's Nest Pass.
Oh, sorry, Crow's Nest Pass.
Yeah, so it is a local distributor.
It says Alberta Beverage.
Yeah, and that was one of the reasons I liked it as well, is because it was local.
Oh, yeah,
obviously,
that's not botanical even.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the type of gin you use can obviously affect the kind of drink that you make and stuff like that. Now, I've put in the apparel, I've put in the Saint Germain's. We're now going to do 1 ounce of pineapple juice.
Okay.
2 ounces of mango. And this one I'm actually really interested in because it's such a different mixture of ingredients.
We got kiwi and mango and pineapple and gin and what's this again called?
Saint Germain.
That really like botanical and fruity.
Exactly. And then we got our orange bitters.
Oh, okay.
So now we're going to put it all together. All right.
That's my workout for today.
That's our workout. So we shake it. You can shake it a little longer. I always say shake it until your hands are a little bit too cold to hold it any longer. Now, because we've got kiwi in this muddled, you want to double strain it. So that's where we're taking the top strainer and this bottom strainer, and we're double straining it into the glass, so that we don't get those bits of kiwi in there, because we really don't want to do that.
It's quite thick, like the texture of the liquid is thick, but we don't want to parade, right? So, okay.
Exactly.
Sophisticated.
And then now...
And the garnish with a pretty kiwi.
Exactly. So you can just lie the kiwi on top, or you can put it on the side, and there is your suitcase.
So pretty. Suitcase.
So now we can unpack. Hang on. Oh, I like that one. Super yummy.
Mm. It tastes like the smoothie. It does
kind of taste like a smoothie. You couldn't taste any alcohol in this. There's no way that you would know that there's actually 2 ounces of alcohol. It tastes
really healthy.
It tastes really healthy. This is our healthy lunch. So, yeah, really, really good. That's a great cocktail. Yeah. And then you have fruit. So you've got most of your food groups.
I'm going to do this little mix here. Yeah, not strong at all. I actually don't taste much of I would say it's not herby at all either. It's not even we're using a little bit herbal gin. It doesn't have that. But I think it's a good call not to use the pine tasting gin because pine might clash a little bit with the fruit forward ingredients.
But what's funny though is it's not overly mangoey, it's not overly pineapple-y. It's actually just a really
You definitely
nice
taste the
mixture.
kiwi though.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely have that freshness of kiwi. I actually like it. I think it would be a perfect summer drink. Like instead of mojito.
So pretty much everything for Anna is a perfect summer drink. I think that's her prime drinking time is summer.
No, I drink it in the winter too. But I guess I like the heavier drinks like scotch and bourbon, or I love my wine, right? So hence so much wine, so little time.
We got special dresses made just for us.
We really like our Tipsy Realtors.
Yeah,
dresses.
we all have our own saying on
What
the
is
back.
yours says again?
Mine says
Sips getting real. Yeah.
So there you go.
Getting real. Talk about getting real. Yes, let's talk about the forecast. Let's talk about the numbers. It was there was lots of details. You have to remember, like, we listen to this like pretty much throughout the day, and we try to deliver this in the next 10 minutes. So if you do have any questions, definitely feel free to comment or give us a call after.
So here's my question, actually. What was your biggest takeaway, Anna, from that? Like your biggest, like, kind of wow moment? Because I know I had a few, which we can talk about, which as professionals, our wow moments are probably kind of that, not something normal people would think about.
Yeah, so my personal wow moment, because I already had to think about it, I had to do a survey of what I learned.
When did you do that?
This morning. Calgary Real Estate Board sent you a survey.
I'll do mine later, Alan.
Yes. So one of the, like, I was thinking, you know what, for me, it was a little bit of more of confirmation what I thought 2023 would look like. I didn't thought that 2023 will be as aggressive in activity and sales as 2022, but I knew it would be a positive outlook. And it was great to see like what I thought is gonna happen for this year, just being like reconfirmed with the numbers from our financial person, Anne-Marie from The Economist. Yeah.
So for me, what I actually found kind of interesting is, one, I knew 2023 was going to be good, but my harder part was being able to see past 2023 and what was that market going to look like, because I thought that there was a bit more risks. And I actually really, really was impressed by how she outlaid it. Like, Anne-Marie is always amazing.
Yes.
But I was really impressed on how she laid it all out. And my big takeaway was the fact that she turned around, and when she started talking about that foreign ownership ban for 2 years and how that's going to give pent-up demand, that in 2 years we're probably going to have another kind of bump in the market, meaning up, not down, because there's all these people that are here that want to buy that are not going to be able to for 2 years. Yeah. So that actually kind of was a wow moment for me, where I was like, wow, I hadn't even considered that. But you're absolutely right. This pent-up demand that's being stifled right now. So in 2 years, we actually could have a lot of people coming into the market, or even if they keep the rule, in 3 years, people who are finally qualified to purchase that haven't been able to for the last 3 years because of that new legislation or ban that came in. So
basically driving the same, and they're going to run out of buyers.
And that's exactly it. So it actually showed me that the long-term forecast for real estate in Alberta is like, you got to put your sunglasses on because it's looking good. It's bright. And I thought that we might have a slowdown after this. And certainly we can't keep going at the pace we're going, because that's just ridiculous. But it means that your investments in real estate are probably good to go for quite some time. Like, we're going to see this market continue to go up at modest rates.
Positive, like more on the balance side. Yeah. It was good to see the graphs in terms of, like, to remind yourself the visuals, because, like, we knew we had a huge migration, like interprovincial migration.
Can I show the graph while you talk about it?
Yes, okay. Show the graph. Okay. We all the graphs were done by Anne-Marie in Calgary Real Estate Board, so they are from the show. Did you?
I'm getting it.
It has a whole bunch of arrows going into the province. There, this one.
That one. There we go.
Yeah. So. So it's really was good to see which provinces and how many people we actually had that migrated into Alberta last year. And because we all say, like, oh, we know people coming. Like, we had a lot of clients last year that we sold properties over virtual showings, over video, basically. People only saw their homes when they moved here and took the possession. And like, look at the Ontario. Like, it's incredible amount of people from Ontario that are right here. BC, I think, was the second highest. But basically, like, Alberta took on pretty much from every province of Canada. You know, people that came. Oh, thank you.
And it wasn't actually even just that, but the fact that the people that were coming here weren't all of, migrants from the Ukraine or uneducated people. We had a lot of people come here on different kind of jobs. And one thing that she said that she was super surprised about was the amount of high paying science jobs that came into our province as well, which was another big factor as to why we were able to sustain and keep up with everything that was going on and not have the downturn that she expected in the fall. So that was actually the unexpected professional jobs gain. Was super cool to see that we had these high paying jobs, which is why our luxury home market fared as well as it did over this, because she did expect a downturn in that second half. She said the first half of 2022 was way bigger and busier and bigger gains than what she expected.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody can predict how that supply was so short, and the demand went so high.
Yeah.
I mean, the point is, again, Robin and I have said it on many shows already. Calgary's been in economical slump for many years, and our price have not grown for just real estate in general. Where like Vancouver and Toronto has been growing year after year after year. So when you look at it, like, people are like, well, you guys jumped like 10% last year in the detached home category. Yes, but we still undervalued. Like, we are still not reached the point where we should be if we have grown every year since 2014, basically.
Now, a lot of people are hearing about an upcoming recession. She affirmed, we actually had two different speakers yesterday affirm that Alberta will not see ramifications from a national recession. It will be Alberta and Saskatchewan, and I guess it's a competition between the two provinces. Who's going to give more to the GDP, Alberta, Saskatchewan? But those two provinces, because of their high amount of commodities within their province, are going to actually not really suffer a recession whatsoever, but suffer growth. So now they're competing as to who's going to suffer more growth. But the thing that you can see here is that there are markets that are going to see a recession. They are going to see a downturn in sales, a downturn in prices when it comes to real estate. It's just not Alberta. And she said specifically it's not Calgary because of the fact that Calgary is going to see more growth than Edmonton because of all of our main offices and stuff that we have going on here.
We are seeing a lot of more tech companies and just job opportunities, and more companies coming to Calgary just in general, creating the employment market. We still have tons of vacancies. Like, I think people are actually looking to employ people, especially in everyday kind of like the service jobs, and also very high professional jobs. There is a lot of openings in that.
And then the other thing that I thought was absolutely fantastic information was how our outer surrounding communities actually had bigger growth than that in Metro Calgary. And I think that has a lot to do with affordability. She talked about affordability a ton, saying that affordability is going to be a really big factor. I love when she pointed out that we saw the detached home market grow, and then the next year we saw the semi-detached home market grow, and now they're expecting to see some of the biggest growth in the row and apartment style houses, and it's because of the fact that that's the only affordable sector left in our market. So now that market's going to grow, which is great because it was
if you're a condo owner, it's your time to sell.
Well, it's your time to wait and at least see growth, because you might be able to come back and recover from 2014. Because she did say that 2014. That the condo market hadn't seen that recovery yet, but maybe we're about to get there, which is fantastic.
Yes, and we already seen it in the market. We are seeing the shortage of listings, even downtown core, of how many usually we have condo for sale. Now we have a lot less. The prices are definitely growing, and I would say, like, I do market analysis for certain of my clients almost on annual basis. And from last year to this year, I already see about the 2% jump in the price category, and it's different from building to building. So you have to remember, right now I think what's in demand is a newly built condominiums with the modern finishings and low condo fees. It's starting becoming really hard to find any condo fees below $400 per month, just because services and insurance and management is growing. Therefore, condo fees are growing with them. But yes, condo market is the one that we probably see had the most transformation in 2023 and going upwards.
Now, we're also talking about the lowest level of supply that's coming out of this forecast. We are continuing to see a low level of supply of houses for sale in Calgary. She did say that the sellers are probably not going to post their houses as quickly as the buyers are buying them. So we're going to continue to see those low supply levels. Now, if you had seen our monthly update, there are 8,998 detached homes for sale in all of Alberta.
Yeah.
That is usually the number of Calgary alone. That is all of Alberta. Edmonton, Red Deer, Calgary, Medicine Hat, Lethbridge, everywhere else, all of Alberta. That is an incredibly low number, so much that it's shocking us as agents to see it this low. So that's going to prevent these price declines, which is why you can have confidence that 2023 is going to be a great year to buy real estate. Someone did outright ask her the question if waiting was the right answer, and she actually suggested to them, because people always want to believe that there's going to be this big downturn in the market, the bubble's going to pop, and therefore, if they just wait a couple of years, they're going to be able to get the houses at a lesser price. She said, realistically, waiting is not your friend in this market, that it's not going to get any better, and she doesn't see a big bubble bursting here on the long term, or even probably not 5-10 years. So if you're looking to wait, she says she doesn't see how that's going to be. She did say that there are things to consider, which I thought were kind of cool. And those things to consider are things like, for the buyers and the seller, is how price sensitive are you? So to consider that and be really clear with what your long-term goals are.
Absolutely. Like, you have to remember, you're not buying a property just for a few months or a year. Like, sometimes it's very rare when somebody buys, just need a house for a year. Usually it's a long-term investment. A minimum average Calgarian moves every 5 years. That's kind of like, it's always been like that. So in a sense, like, think about 5 years, 10 years. Like, how much would it really matter? And what I want to point out, one thing, because that was kind of important to me when I heard this, how different the markets, different price range markets will be in Calgary.
Yeah.
So, and we already seen that. So I kind of experienced it on myself through in January. I observed it, and listening to it yesterday, I was like, that makes total sense. We still seeing a huge rush, basically 550 and below. That price category, especially on detached property, is extremely busy. Lots of showings. We have multiple offer situation. Like, there's a lot going on. But as soon as the property goes over that 600, and especially if you go into like semi-detached, like a duplex style for infill, something like this.
Yeah.
Anything that goes that 700-800 is becoming a little bit slower. We're losing the buyers to a higher interest rate. So because it becomes more expensive to buy expensive home, people start shopping in a low price category.
Yeah, and she did say that obviously this new, on the 26th, that the Bank of Canada.
By the way, today, no, it was today.
Was
they
it
announced it?
I don't know.
My God.
25 basis points. They anticipate interest rates to go up. Everyone is saying it's going to happen, but everyone is saying that they do think that it's going to be the last raise that the Bank of Canada is going to do, and then they're going to wait about a year, see what happens.
I'm crossing my finger.
Yeah, but if it quells inflation, they're going to start lowering those interest rates back down. So something to consider when you're looking at what type of mortgage, if you're going to go on a variable versus a fixed rate.
Right. You have to remember, it's not just 5-year fixed. A lot of people love that product because they get the low rate and they're good for 5 years. Right now, you might want to kind of think a little bit ahead. Maybe look into 1 year or 3 year, fixed. There's some good ones. I think I was talking to Ian Watt yesterday, one of our mortgage brokers from Advanced Mortgages. He was saying his best rate is 3-year fixed at 4.89.
which still isn't a bad rate.
Yeah.
And she did mention that too, is that the rates that we've experienced over the last 5-10 years have been ridiculously low.
Yeah.
So this is really where they should be, and that's kind of what
I remember when I even started in 06.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen different rates even in the late 90s, early 2000s. They were much higher.
Yeah.
But 4%, 5% were pretty standard rates.
Yeah.
And then they went drastically low, and everybody were really happy, and they stayed that way, right?
Yeah. Now, other things that I loved hearing was how she kind of unpacked about new houses versus resale. So the average new house price is $739,000. When resale, you're looking more in kind of that $500,000-$600,000 mark. So she's saying that that's going to continue to fuel that resale market, because some people who are new house people, I say there are new house people and resale people. But as long as we see that huge discrepancy between the new house prices and the resale prices, we're going to have that fueling of the resale market for the people who just can't afford to buy brand new.
Yeah, with the resale, you have to, with the new ones, people are oh, why is it so much more? Usually they do compete with the resale market sometimes quite close, but because of construction material costs and labor costs went up through the roof, every builder, who you talk to, did you see the prices of lumber? Seriously, the simple things that you need, a lumber to build your home, went double or triple in some cases in price, and therefore the construction costs went up. And then you don't remember as when you buy a home from the build, sometimes there's landscaping involved and building your own deck or patio or fencing, adding garage in some cases, that's all adds up. So sometimes the resale market that provides you with everything ready go, and if you buy something was built in the last 5 years, the trend has not changed that much in floor plans or colors or in terms of kitchen layouts. The trends have been pretty stable.
Yeah. So we honestly could ramble away about this forecast for
we have 6 pages of small font that we can talk about it. I'm sure we'll talk a little more about as weeks to come. But we wanted to give you firsthand, right after our forecast conference, what we heard yesterday, what we learned, and give you some reassurances. Because honestly, even though that 2023 will be a little bit different from 2022, for Calgary, Alberta, that we've seen the market going up and down, it still looks like it's gonna be a good upwards.
Yeah. So if you're looking at buying or selling a house, time is not on your side. Get in now. You've got possibly, most likely, consistent growth for the long-term future, which is exactly why getting in now would be the best bet for you. And if you do want to unpack this even further, feel free to give Anna, myself, or Victoria a call, and we will break it down even further and find minute detail, how it affects you, and all that.
It's so individual, and we're so good, making that plan individually, right? Based on your needs.
Yes.
So, and talking about your needs.
Last time! Oops, wrong one.
If you are in need
so Valentine's Day, you have to get this. Like and share our show.
Couples
you have to get this.
Yeah.
Enjoy Valentine's Day.
And it's going to be, so we're going to draw a name first week of February, of course, on our show. And whoever, you have to love, tag your friends, share our shows. We on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok.
Now, usually we ask for photos and videos on social media of you using our prizes. Yeah. No, for this one. This is private. Please use it privately and do not tag us in anything.
So it is designed by psychologists. It's a research base. It's a 15 important life areas. Easy to play. It is in. It says 2 players. So, but no judgment.
Play with as many people as you like.
Yes, extended family is there.
I think it's funny that they stopped it as 2 players. Oh, it only takes 30 to 90 minutes, so
and
that might be a long night for some people.
Right now, I talked to you 30 minutes about something. But if you are stuck for conversation with your partner, you want to reconnect on deeper levels, this is a great game to win.
But speaking of our next show, we're doing the Love Potion. Ooh. Because it's February. Yes. And we're going to talk about buying your first home because everybody falls in love with their first home. Do you not remember?
It wasn't, yeah. Well, for me, it was like 6 months after I've been in real estate. I bought my first condo and I rented it out, and then I turned a profit of 70,000 6 months later.
Really good for you. Well,
I
it was
know.
06 though. That was
And
06.
yes, and I was at the beach at the time when I sold it.
That is.
I had the best first experience.
My first home I bought when I was 21, before I got into real estate. I think it might have been 20. Before I got into real estate, but you know what? Anything was better than renting. I know. You know what? Anything was better than renting. Because renting, I joke around, is a 4-letter word. I joke around that renters pay off a lot of my mortgages. That's why I like renters. So I decided I was going to buy a house young, and I lived in it. I still love the condo complex. Like, to this day, I'll tell anyone to buy in there. It's absolutely lovely. So, but if you are looking at buying or selling real estate, please feel free to give myself or Anna Terranova a call, and tell your friends, family, coworkers, anyone that you chat with. If they bring up real estate, you bring up us, because they need to make sure that they've got that representation that's going to tell them the truth no matter what, and always make sure that their needs are first and foremost in the transaction, because that's, I think, it's our values, it's
and
our
be
morals.
Super fun. Like, you can say, I worked with the Tipsy Realtors.
Exactly. See, they're fun and serious sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right.
Thank you
Look
so
forward
much.
to you next week, guys. Bye.